Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing another tutorial on how to do one of these abstract loops. This again I saw kind of on Instagram and I thought it was a good kind of like simple thing to do. I might front load a lot of these all together because I'm going to be going on vacation. But anyways, let's just jump right into it. So we're in the scene. All we really need to do is set up, I would say, the basic scene, which is just using a geometry nodes group. So it's pretty easy. We're already here, we're already halfway done. So in order to do this, we need to do two things. We need to make the gridded mesh of like the tubes and then kind of just do noise displacement. It's super quick, super easy, super straightforward. This is very beginner friendly. That might be one of my titles, we'll see. Okay, so we're going to do a bunch of curve lines. So let's do that. Let's just do curve line. And we're gonna wanna instance them, I guess, along a curve line, perhaps make it easy. So let's do this by going from, let's do from 0 to 1, and it's here. Nice, perfect. And maybe we can just do that. And let's go 0 to 10, just to make it easy. So it'll be 10 meters. We're going to resample the curve. Along the curve, we're going to instance on points. We're gonna do a new curve, and I guess this one will be on the x-axis. Whoops. Let's see how this looks. This does look good. Fantastic. So pretty much all we're doing is we're taking that curve, which we had right here, making 10 points, which is every meter, and instancing another 10 meter curve along that point. So now we have all of this here. Now, in order to displace this and have it look good, we're gonna have to realize this geometry. So we're gonna say realize instances. And now look over here on the left. Over here, we have this kind of geometry instance data. And we do this, and now it goes into the splines. So it goes from 2 splines to 10 and 20 control points. And let's also resample the curve. And this is gonna need to be very small. Let's do length, and that's every 10 centimeters. Let's do every 5 centimeters and see how that looks. So now it's, I think, 2,000 points, I think is what it says. 2K. So this is gonna be the main thing you gotta think about for granularity, if it makes sense. Fantastic. So now what we wanna do is we want to find a way to, what do we wanna do here? What we can do now is we can take this, and let's also mesh it again really quick. Let's say curve to mesh. And our profile curve is a curved circle. Let's make it 8, and it's like 0.2 maybe. Reasonable, fantastic. And then back here, we can increase the cuts to add more if we want to. Okay, this is basic. Now, what we want to do is we want to see if we can make this rippling effect, which is going to be essentially a displacement of a sphere to get that kind of rippling fall off. We want to have a point here and have it kind of ripple out like that. So that's going to be a set position. And how are we going to displace it? That's the question. We can do a wave texture. How is this looking? We have this. Okay. If we do a sphere, what if we did Z? How does that work? Oh, there we go. This is working. Nice. The center is up here. Okay. And then we take the vector, we do a vector math. Plug this in. Maybe we can offset it. So it's like minus 0.5 maybe? Is that working? So we do position. Position this, or it's okay, so it's like 5 minus 5. There we go, minus 5. Now it's centered. Okay, cool. So let's just talk about this really quick, why it makes sense. Oops, Z, boom. Okay, so we have our Cartesian coordinates, I guess. So essentially, the Cartesian coordinates, right, would have this be 10 meters, because that's what we're doing. This is also 10 meters. So the original center is right here, the world origin. And that's right here with this position. but we need to offset it by -5, both points. That way our new center is there. So we're gonna get the ripples that way, if that makes sense. So that's kind of why we're doing what we're doing here. And then what we can do is just take this set position, I think plug it into the offset. And then if we do a, what's it called? A combine XYZ. And we pop this into the Z, go like this. Nice. And basically, this is the effect. It's that easy. We're kind of getting these curves going up and back. That kind of is what we wanted to get. So we can lower this down. And now we're getting this kind of loopy looking wave texture. See how fast that was? That was really just a few nodes and we're already kind of done. So I think what I want to do is find a camera angle that makes sense. So let's work with this. So now we kind of made the scene a bit more complex. And let's also capture this wave texture. That's going to be the most interesting thing for the animation, and in terms of the, it'll be the most interesting thing in terms of the motion over time. So let's get that too. So let's say capture or store named attribute. And this can go here, I guess. And this can be a color. And this will go right here. And this can be displace. So I'll say disp text. Cool. That should be fine. And let's do the animation really quick. So let's also think about the frames. We want it to be what? 60 FPS. Let's have it be 3 seconds. So it's 180. Start at 0, so I guess it's slightly over 3 seconds. So let's make it 179. There we are. And then we can do a same trick I always do, which is going to be a scene time. We have the frames. It'll be a math. And we're going to divide by 179. Just the total number of frames. And then that's going to go into a float curve. That's the interpolation. And then we're going to do a math. And then we're going to multiply it by, I think, let's just say pi for now to see if it works. No, it has to be tau. So it's 2 pi for a full phase shift, which makes sense. And then we can change interpolation as well as, okay, so this can be the same, or we could do this. Kind of like it being a little non-linear. Let's try, this is linear, so let's just try this. Do something like this. It's too much of a thing. Let's just pull this back and see how that looks. This is kind of nice. I kind of like this lagging. Let's pull it in a little bit. Nice. This is kind of satisfying. I kind of like how the loop is doing that. So it holds for a second, and then it kind of moves through the rest. Okay, now we know the camera is looking reasonable. Let's do 1920. Cool. And then let's find where we can get this to work. So let's grab here. It's 1000. Great. Shifty. Let's add some color with the lights. I've been liking this method recently. It's like the lazy way of making the scene is you just add the color with the actual lights themselves. Kind of into it. Kind of feel like this is like the hack to do these abstract loops is like, don't worry about texturing, just do some interesting lighting to kind of have it all kind of like work out itself that way. Nice. So I have a basic scene set up. Now let's just do the material really quick. Go back into geometry nodes. Let's grab the name of that material and say what's it called? Attribute node. Paste it in. Now we can see this attribute going through perfectly. And let's mix it with a texture coordinate node. So we gotta do a texture coordinate. Fantastic. I guess it's generated. Separate XYZ. Pop this in. Are we getting it? We are. Fantastic. So if we do a math node and we multiply these two together, we should get something nice. Nice, and let's just pop this here, pop it here, and then we might want to do a map range on this maybe. Could add, change to add actually. Let's do add. How does this look? Let's just see for now. Color ramp. Let's try a Fresnel node maybe. We're just kind of messing around with a lot of things. Let's do the Fresnel node actually. Let's do this. And let's change this to multiply, add it in, multiply. And we want it to be inverted, right, for this. So it'd be a math. So we'll do, I guess, a multiply on this. What is it still looking like? That's too big. There we go, it's looking better. Something like this, maybe. Nice. This is popping through. And we're adding a color ramp. And we should do maybe transmission. And we should do boo boo boo. Ray trace transmission. And that makes sense. Cool. Let's see how this looks now. And the roughness should be a noise texture. And it should be like 300. Maybe that's fine. And the map range. Something like this. And it should be like from 0 to like 0.3. Maybe with a white background looks better. Maybe not the transmission, maybe you want subsurface. Let's add this. How's this working now? Nice. And then this should be, it should be what? It should be, I don't know, like, this is back to black. This should be, ooh, I kind of like the tops to be a different color. Maybe do a red. The bottoms could be like green or blue. And then this. Nice. This is where I'm going to stop for now. So I kind of played around with it a little bit more, but obviously you can go into the weeds indefinitely for these types of effects. So take your time and kind of play around. I think this is like a final render that I'll probably tweak some more, but this is the basic effect essentially. So I feel free to try this yourself. It's really straightforward. I hope you guys realize that. I have this like the base effect I basically was able to do in what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes? And then the rest of it is just doing materials and kind of playing with that, which takes a long time. And as you can see, the lighting really changes as you kind of move things around, especially with subsurface. So take your time and kind of play around and see what you like. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys learned something. I hope you found more empowered to get in Blender, and leave comments. I respond to almost all of them. And thanks so much. Peace out, guys.
Augury.